Good morning to all the grade 4 learners all across Namibia. Welcome to My Zone Online School. This is Chanel and I am Miss Stefanie Kotze. Before we start our lesson today, let's quickly sanitize, Chanel. Okay, between the fingers as well. Okay, and let's stretch out our arms to see if we are practicing social distance. Okay, that seems good. So today we are talking about nutrition, sources of food. Okay, good. Grade 4s. So before we start with the lesson, let's quickly take a look at some words that you guys might not know. So you can open your workbooks on page 11. Then the first word is nutrition. Okay, so nutrition is the process of obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. Okay, so you want to eat nutritious foods. The second word is a thing from which something originates or comes from. Okay, so the source of something is something that starts something else. Okay, good. So let's start with today's lesson. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Okay, but if there is somebody in the house right now with you, quickly tell that person what you think a herbivore, carnivore, and omnivore is. So I'm not going to give you the answer, but I'm going to tell you, lucky for us, humans are omnivores. So that means that we eat food from animals and from plants. Okay, so Chanel, I think you guessed it. That means that our two main sources of food will be animals and plants. So the first thing that we will do is we will identify some food types from these two main sources. Okay, so you can take a look on the board. We are going to start with plants. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a plant. All plants have roots, they have stems, they have leaves, they have fruits, and they have seeds. Okay, so from these different parts of the structure of a plant, we get different types of food. Okay, so let's start at the bottom. So types of food that we get from the root part of a plant is carrots and beetroot. Okay, let's move on to the stem. Onions is an example of the stem part of a plant that we can eat. Let's look at the leaves, spinach and lettuce. So I think that is a very common example and something that all of you guys will know, spinach and lettuce. Let's move on to the fruits. So we can name almost tens and hundreds of examples of different types of fruits that we know. Okay, but I'm just going to name two. So grapes and bananas is examples of fruits that we eat from a plant. But then from some plants we can even eat the seeds. Okay, and examples of this is beans and lentils. Okay, so you can take a look in your workbook on page 11. Let's move to animals. Let's see what different types of food we can get from animals. So I think the most common example and something that you guys will think of immediately is meat. Okay, so meat is something that we get from animals. Think of those lamb chops or pork ribs or even chicken drumsticks. Okay, so those are examples of meat products that we get from animals. Other products include milk. Okay, and from milk we can make cheese. Another thing that is cool of milk is that if we refrigerate it, a layer of cream forms on top of the milk, and from that we can make butter. Okay, the last example that I have is eggs. Okay, so eggs is another product that we get from animals. Okay, grade 4. So the next thing that we will be talking about is the main food types and how important they are for us. So you can turn to page 12 in your workbooks and you can follow in there. Okay, so in a previous lesson, I hope you guys can remember, we talked about the different types of food. And today we are going to discuss the importance of these food types some more. So the thing is, for our bodies to function properly, they need all the different types of food. So you can quickly take a look on the board, okay? So on this picture, you can see that it is a triangle with our 4 different types of food. So at the bottom, we have carbohydrates. So they fill the biggest space in the triangle. Okay, so what this tells us is that our bodies needs carbohydrate. They need a lot of carbohydrates. Okay, then we move up to vitamins and minerals. So we find them in fruits and vegetables. Okay, and our bodies still need a lot of vitamins and minerals. Then we move up to the smaller parts of the triangle. Up there we have proteins and fats. Okay, so proteins are normally found in meat products and in dairy products. Okay, and our body needs a little bit less of from proteins than it needs of carbohydrates. Okay, and then right there at the top, the smallest part of the triangle, we have fats. So that means that our bodies, you need it, okay, but you need a little bit less of fats than you need of, for example, proteins and carbohydrates. So let's quickly take a look on page 12 again, and let us work through that. So carbohydrates, we're going to start with that one first. So they give our bodies energy to play and to do our schoolwork. Okay, so it is important to remember that there are 2 types of carbohydrates. We have simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates is found in fruit, and we can also call them simple sugars. So they give our bodies a fast supply of energy. And then we also have complex carbohydrates. Another word for that is starches. And we get that from vegetables like corn and potatoes. So they give our bodies a more energy more slowly. Okay, so they give a slow supply of energy to our bodies. Let's move on to the next one, vitamins and minerals. Okay, so they help to keep your body healthy and everything working properly. So they also make your bones strong, and they keep your teeth and your gums healthy. So in winter time right now, your body needs vitamins and minerals, okay, because they protect your body from illness. But the thing is, we need to eat foods containing vitamins because your body cannot produce it by itself. Okay, so vitamins are found in fruit and vegetables, in meat, in dairy products, and there is even one type of vitamin that you get from the sun. So it is important to play outside as well. Let's move on to the second last one, proteins. So proteins build up your muscles. They repair and replace muscles so that your body can keep on working. Let's say, for example, you have a sports injury. Then proteins will specifically help to repair your muscles. And another thing that is very interesting of proteins is that they make red blood cells that carry oxygen around your body. They also help to fight diseases and heal cuts and wounds. Okay, the last part is fats. They act as the body's reserve tank of energy, and they also protect your organs. I think that is pretty interesting. Okay, but with fats, it is very important to maintain a balance, because too much fats can cause you to become overweight, and that again contains a whole lot of other health issues. Fats can be found in food types such as avocados, salmon, sunflower seeds, and flax seeds. Okay, grade 4s, so let us quickly take a look at our activity. So on page 12 in your workbook, you have your activity. There are 2 questions. The first question is, list the main sources of food. Okay, so quickly try and do that. Take a pencil or a pen and quickly try to do that. Then you can move on to question 2. Discuss the importance of the main food types for human health. Okay, so if you are done with that, grade 4s, then you are done with science for today. Okay, Chanel, so before we say goodbye, let's quickly sanitize. Again, so kids all over Namibia, it's very important to sanitize. Okay, and let's see if we are still practicing social distance. Okay, that seems fine. Thank you for listening, grade 4s. Have a nice day. Bye.
Hi everyone. You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time.